Hi friends. So today we are going to talk about how to get into IIT or my secret of getting into IIT. If you look at this word IIT, this is actually like it weaves magic in our country. You're maybe coming from any background, but if you hear this word IIT, this is a kind of magic, right? So when I got to know about this word IIT when I was in my standard 8th, and one gentleman actually told me that there's something called IIT, and if you crack that IIT exam and you get admission into this college, your life can get changed in more ways than you can imagine, and it can be a huge progress for anyone. So, doesn't matter which background, social background you're coming from. You may be coming from middle class, lower middle class, or even lower levels of society. If you get this brand name on you, it will do wonders. So it is like a golden ladder, I would say, which can help you surpass a lot of obstacles and move and progress very fast. Obviously, life depends on many other things, but IIT plays a key role. If you have got IIT on your CV, then any interviewer may not ask you a lot of usual questions which they ask other people. And you are kind of getting a head start in your interview. And this brand name is not only respected in India as well as it is respected abroad. So for me, when I evaluated my options, I felt yes, this is the right thing for me. Because I was not, unlike a lot of other people, I was not exceptionally talented in many other things. I was not a great tennis player. I could not do very fast swimming, or even now I don't know swimming very well. Getting into cricket, Bollywood were completely out of question for people like me. And these new age professions which exist now, like you can become a world class hairdresser and you can earn better than any IITian or any cricket player, those didn't exist at our time, or they were not that prevalent. So I thought, what are the options in front of me? I was a reasonably okay student, not a brilliant one. I was not a ranker till my 7th, 8th standard. So I said, yes, this is it. This is something on which if I put my dedication and hard work, I have some chance of succeeding. Now, the same gentleman actually told me that the way you are excited about this opportunity, there are millions of other people in this country, and ours is a very populous country. There are millions of other people who are excited and who will give their right arm to get into IIT. So the competition is hot. People who prepare very well, do hard work, dedication, they are sharp, intelligent, they get through. And the remaining are left to or forced to evaluate other options. So I said, okay. I'm not afraid of competition, but then he told me that there are several coaching classes, course materials which one has to take in order to prepare for this exam. Now this was a kind of a difficult thing for me because I am not a person who sits in the class and understands everything. For me, the time that I spent sitting in the class listening to our teachers was a kind of waste of time because I had to come back home, sit with my books and understand everything all over again. And only then those things would go inside my head. This was a very peculiar situation. And then I thought that on top of this, I'm already overburdened by my schoolwork. And on top of this, if I go for these coaching classes, I'll get more work over there. And then I will have to do more self-work or homework. So I would need kind of 48 hours in a day. So early on I decided that boss, this tuition and this coaching is not for me. I will stay away from this. I will collect as much material as possible, as much as practicable, and I will do my own studies. Maybe if I get stuck somewhere, I'll take services of some teachers part-time and try to resolve those doubts once in a while. And this strategy actually worked out very well for me because I didn't go with the herd and just join the coaching class without thinking. So you can decide for yourself what kind of student you are, whether you are a visual kind of student who looks at pictures, diagrams, and then understand things, or you are an auditory kind of student who hears or listens to the teachers explaining things in the class and you are able to figure out things and they stay in your mind. So once you have decided what to do, whether you want to go for a coaching class or you want to go for a tuition, it looks pretty straightforward, at least the preparation bit. But even then, a lot of us have this self-doubt. Am I good enough for IIT? If I spend these 3-4 years of my life doing this preparation and I don't get through, what happens? Now, just a very, very simple, straightforward way to figure out whether you have the capability to get into IIT is to just look at your interest in maths and science, look at your marks that you've been getting in standard 7th, 8th, 9th, and if you are figuring in about 25, 30 top students, 25, 30 percentage top students in your class. So if your class has got 50 students, if you are figuring into top 15, 20 students, you have a reasonably good chance of getting into IIT. So let's get this thing out of way. Then again, we feel that so many people are there, and there are people with very, very high IQ levels, high intelligence. There are state toppers, there are national toppers, there are all kind of people, and we see these wizards around us. What makes me so special that I will be able to get into IIT? So if you have a medium to reasonable okay IQ, I can say that you can compensate that with your hard work. Because what happens is, I have seen many people with very high IQ levels, they get complacent. They think that they can get away with lesser hard work, and that is where they falter. Maybe later on they learn from their failures and then they become more diligent. But sometimes many of the high IQ students, they falter because of this. So if you are a medium IQ student, like maybe I can give my own example. You have a great chance because boss, hard work is the only thing that will get me across. If I falter on hard work, there's no other way. So hard work, determination is the key. We have to commit that yes, I will put in whatever hard work is required. So you've kind of evaluated your capability, your learning style, and you're willing to put the hard work, you're determined. Now there's again so many people like this in this country, unfortunately, who are willing to do this. Then how do I differentiate myself from others? With so many of people with medium to high IQ who are struggling to get into this coveted institute. Now that is where, take example of two people. They're putting in similar amount of study hours, both study 10 to 12 hours every day. Both are having similar IQ level, similar economic background, everything is same. Still one person gets through with great rank and the other person is kind of left out struggling. So another big factor which differentiates one person from the other in this examination is the quality of your studies. The quality, the concentration, the depth of your studies is a big differentiating factor. Because if you go to these large coaching institutes, in these famous cities in this country, or even in all the large cities like Delhi, Mumbai, you will see these people, roughly everybody is putting in equal amount of hard work, labor and study hours. And given equal capability, still some people are getting through, some people are not getting through. So I will share with you a conscious way of improving your quality of studies. Your quality of studies, when you sit down to study, whatever you study stays in your head for longer, and it is useful on the day of examination. So when we sit down to study, some people do very fast study and they will cover a lot of portion, but the retention is lower. For few people, they study very slowly, they cover very little portion, but the retention is very high. Now both these methods cannot help you. You need to have a reasonably good pace of studies, reasonably good amount of retention, and reasonably good amount of absorption or understanding, which can be recalled at the right time. So what do? Here is my secret method comes into picture. So this secret method is nothing that I have invented, but I was lucky to stumble upon it at the right time and I adopted it. I followed it for 3-4 years of my IIT preparation time, and I was able to score a good rank, which is about 479. Not a rank in top 50, but a reasonably good rank even at that time. And I was able to get admission into mechanical engineering in IIT Delhi. So what was this method? This method is something called Tratak. Tratak is a very ancient yogic method. This is used to improve your concentration. So your ability to concentrate on whatever task you have at hand grows manifold. So first let us talk about how to do this practice. What happens is, in this practice, Just you need to sit down on a flat surface, either in a cross-legged position or you sit on a chair. You sit down in this position in front of a wall or a flat surface, vertical surface. What you do is you take a pen or a marker and just make a small circle or black dot on the wall in front of you, which you can see. There should be about, say, 2 feet, 2 to 3 feet distance between the wall and your eyes, and this dot has to be at your eye level so that when you sit straight, you are able to look at this dot without any disturbance. And what you need to do is, without closing your eyes in between, without blinking, you need to look at this dot on the wall for about 15 to 30 minutes with unbroken concentration. That is just the secret. That is the key. Now, many of you may, get water in your eyes if you keep your eyes open for so long. No problem. In the beginning, you can blink. You will develop this with practice. Nothing comes, easy and fast. Then for some people, sitting for 30 minutes at one place, it's a big torture, right? In this world of so many gadgets, WhatsApp, tablets, mobile phones, sitting at one place for 30 minutes without doing anything, it's a torture, even for a student. So again, start small. Do it for 5 minutes for 1 week, then for 10 minutes, then 15. In 2-3 months' time, you will be doing easily for 15 to 30 minutes, depending on how much time you have in hand. And you will be able to improve your concentration looking at this dot on the wall. Another way of doing it is, if you have a quiet place available without a fan, you can place a candle on a table, light the candle and look at the flame of the candle for these 15 to 30 minutes. This is another great way to develop Tratak practice. So when we develop Tratak practice, what happens? Our concentration power increases manyfold. The quality of our studies increases multiple times. So two students putting in similar amount of study time, say 8 hours each, the one person who has developed this practice and this art can actually derive benefit of studies worth equal to 12 hours. So your capability, your efficiency is going up by about 50%. If you do it more, your concentration level is higher. You can do it, your productivity can go up by, say, 100%. You will be able to study in any kind of environment, in a noisy environment. If you have a small house, you don't have a study place. I used to live in a small house. I used to go out to study in the playground. So there used to be these kids playing around and I used to study. I have studied in noisy places like, cafeterias. So for example, I can give you my book, Happiness is All We Want, that I've written. This book has been written surprisingly in all noisy cafeterias where a lot of people are sitting, people are chatting, right? They're cracking jokes, they're laughing loudly. If you talk to any other author, they will tell you that, you need to get a quiet place, just sit there, relax, and then the ideas will flow. For me, there was no such luxury. I have a family to take care of. So if you develop this practice, whether you have various, your neighboring aunties making jokes or making noisy conversations, or you have some processions going around your house, some music coming out from outside. In India, there are all kind of religious festivals. We live in Mumbai, and during the 10 days of Ganpati, it is just impossible to, focus on anything, leave alone studies. And we always talk in our home, how do kids study in this kind of environment? But if you do this, I can guarantee that you will not get disturbed by these external stimulus. The environment will always be chaotic. Environment will throw various balls at you. Your job is to neglect everything and keep focused on your objective, which is, to get into IIT. And the way to go is that you're trying hard to concentrate on your studies. So your productivity in your studies is way higher. And that is what will differentiate you ultimately. Since your concentration is higher, whatever you have studied gets retained in your brain for longer time. You do not feel nervous. On the exam day, you are able to recall exactly the thing that you are looking for. So I wish you all the best. Use this practice. Be confident. And God willing, who knows, you will be in IIT and you will thank everyone who helped you get there. And then you can derive all the benefits of getting into IIT. Thanks a lot.